Apparently, the Chicago Bears love JS and Jaxon Smith-Njiba, but does that mean they should still take him at number 9 in this year's draft? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, please do hit the big red subscribe button, folks. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. And as always, guys, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so this is actually coming from Jeff Hughes of the Bears blog. Who I've told you guys, man, Jeff's been on his A game since last year. And somebody asked him, do you think JSN is a good possibility for the Bears? And to that, Jeff replied, and I quote, "Polls is buttoned up, but the same person who told me that the Titans were aggressively pursuing the first overall pick, which is coming out nationally now, by the way, told me the Bears love JSN," and quote. All right, so Jeff's putting out there that, hey, look, I've heard that the Bears love JSN, Jaxon Smith-Njiba. So that propelled me to think, hey, would the Bears take him? Does it make sense to take him at 9? And here's where I'm at. We know that the Bears do love JSN because he's already been, seen by the Bears twice. They brought him in, and he's gotten a top 30 visit, and they've really taken a closer look at JSN, and he's one of the top receivers in the draft by far. I think, in my opinion, the best receiver in the draft. But when we're looking at taking him at number 9, I do hesitate a little bit. All right, let me explain. We do obviously have the receiver position pretty much set for this year, right? You got DJ Moore, your number 1, Chase Claypool, and or Mooney, 2, and then you can interchange them. So your 3 receivers would be Moore, Mooney, Claypool, Moore, Claypool, Mooney, whoever you want to put it at 2 or 3. I'd probably put Mooney at 2 and Claypool at 3. But you got my point. You got those 3 receivers there. Then you got your draft pick from last year, Velus Jones Jr. Then you got Equanimous St. Brown, who you brought back. That's really constituting your 5 receivers that you have. And after that, it's really pretty much just depth pieces, right? And that you can draft and get in free agency and whatnot. So the Bears really don't need receivers, at least for this year. Next year and beyond is a different story, but at least for this year, the Bears don't need a receiver. But the Bengals didn't need a receiver when they took Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell, right? Or maybe you could argue that they didn't need a receiver as much as an offensive lineman. And you can make the exact same case for the Bears. The Bears need an offensive lineman way more than a receiver or even a defensive lineman. But the Bengals went ahead and they did it. They said BPA, best player available, and we're going to go ahead and reunite Joe Burrow with his college teammate in Jamar Chase. And the Bears have the chance to do the exact same thing with Justin Fields and JSN. And like I said, because of the fact that we need an offensive lineman more, a defensive lineman more, I hesitate to say that the Bears should take JSN, especially when I love Paris Johnson Jr. a lot. I wouldn't fault them for it. If Ryan Poles really looked at things and said, hey, look, all of these offensive linemen, they're kind of in the similar stratosphere, if you will, of how I grade them, and no one's really popping out. And same thing with the defensive linemen. Or I'm pretty confident if I'm Ryan Poles that I can get that talent in later rounds, like I did with a Braxton Jones last year in the 5th round. If I'm confident I can do that, then you go ahead and you take a guy in JSN that you don't think you can find later on. JSN is a guy that could turn into an absolute stud and be here for the next 10 years, right? And so sometimes we do this where we don't take BPA, best player available, because we have a clear need and we think, oh, we have to go after that need. But I understand it, right? So you might be thinking, Faiz, you're kind of flip-flopping here. Where are you at? Basically, I'm saying this, all right? If Ryan Poles really does believe JSN is the truth, then there is a world where JSN drafting him is okay because Mooney and Claypool, we don't know if they're going to be here for the long term. DJ Moore probably will, but these guys aren't under contract like DJ Moore is. And so if you move on from, let's say, a Darnell Mooney, all of a sudden you got a hole now at the receiver position. That's where you got JSN sliding right in. That's where you got now a group of Moore, JSN, and Claypool and or Mooney, whoever you decide to keep. Basically, giving Justin Fields more weapons is never a bad thing, and there's a potential that even though it's not this year, but down the line, you could need another receiver, and JSN's going to be on his rookie deal, and boom, you're good to go. And folks, giving Justin Fields more weapons, it's never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. All right. I say all that to say the following, okay? If I'm Ryan Poles, as much as I love JSN, even after I said all that, I think I would still go offensive line. I think I would still go Paris Johnson Jr. Because I think protecting Justin Fields, to me, may be more important right now than giving him weapons, because I gave him one in DJ Moore. That's what I would do, right? Like I said, I wouldn't fault Ryan Poles if you went and drafted JSN, and I'd be excited. But if I was Ryan Poles, I'm going ahead and drafting an offensive line. Certainly I could do a D-line as well. But I think O-line, to me, more important. I draft an offensive lineman. I go ahead and protect Justin Fields, make sure I feel good about him and his protection for years to come. And like I said, I have prospects that I like. It's not just Paris Johnson Jr. You got Peter Skoronski. You got Broderick Jones. You have guys, all right, that are out there. So let's see what happens. I'm not opposed to JSN, but I don't think I would do it at 9, just because of the fact that I'm more worried about protecting Fields. And I did give him a weapon if I'm Ryan Poles. So where do you guys stand on this? Interesting topic to think about. Draft JSN at 9 or not? Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.